Someone comes up to you and offers you $5,000 a day, but you will be cursed with one of the following. Okay, let's hear it. Everything and everyone you touch with your hands disappears until the next day. Nobody else notices anything or anyone is missing. Or, if anyone touches you, even an accidental bump, you disappear for a week. Everyone acts as normal when you return, and you age normally while gone. You make no money if your curse activates. Which would you choose? Dinner's ready. Come and get it while it's hot. Hello? Since you're not coming, I put it away. What the hell? It's been 5 minutes, Mom. I was in the bathroom. Could a depressed person do this? She says at 12:15 a.m. as she folds her laundry that came out of the dryer 6 days ago. Wrote my BF's resignation letter and sent it to my manager so he could print it for me, but I forgot to provide any context. Can you print this for me, please? What kind of sick power play is this? I just saw a guy in the library cry for 5 or 6 minutes, and then his phone alarm went off and he just stopped crying and went right on back to work? It's called time management, Jessica. I think about this student's email every day. Professor Fasano, like Hamlet, I have hesitated to act for reasons I cannot articulate even to myself. May I have an extension on the Hamlet paper? I can't imagine going on r/Tumblr. Why don't you just go on Tumblr? Actually, now I realize it's for people who just want to see the funny posts and don't want to have to actually make an account on a new SOCMED site and find the right people to follow. Every social media farms Tumblr. I'm just working the mines. Me too. Cats don't actually love you. A cat is a small creature in the middle of the food chain that is fully aware that you are a very large thing that could stomp its head in at any moment, and yet it chooses to rest its tiny little head on your leg for a nap and spreads out on the floor near you, exposing its belly and its most sensitive organ. It brings dead mice and bugs to you to share food. Don't you get it? This tiny thing trusts you. It wants to help you too. It licks your leg thinking that it's helping. It needs on you to find comfort. It shares its body warmth with you in the cold and gives you your space in the heat. It hisses at other mammals it sees outside, including other cats, in an effort to protect its family. Cats love you so much, but they will keep trying to eat plastic. Watching our child learn and develop is so funny and amazing, like an alien figuring out humans through experiences. Like the look on her face when I tried to explain to her that, while yes, the plate usually goes in the sink, that this was a paper plate and therefore goes in the trash, was similar to what I assume trying to explain Groundhog's Day to an extraterrestrial's face might look like. Gay people are like, this date needs to be an entire day long. Gay people are like, I had a great time on our first date yesterday. Is it cool if I come spend the night for a breakfast date tomorrow? People need to wear headphones in public because while on an otherwise very lovely walk in the park today, I saw a guy sitting under a tree watching a parody of the Star Wars prequels. If nothing else, trying to tune out the sounds of Anakin and Padme going to town as I contemplate the babbling brook gave me a brief but vivid window into what it's like to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. I hate when we have grass for lunch. Please don't say hate. Thoughts? Left unicorn is so negative. Right unicorn is policing left unicorn, which is harmful. Right is saving left from their pessimistic look on life. Left is ungrateful to be given a meal. Right is cultivating an abusive environment where left cannot voice discomfort. Maybe it's a good thing unicorns don't exist. The legally blonde mentality isn't just for law students. You can bring that attitude with you into every field of work. Be the whimsical force of positive change. Wear that neon outfit. Snaps for us all. This post was inspired by my boss telling me she couldn't take me seriously in a pair of dinosaur print overalls. Sorry I have 2 degrees and a dope wardrobe. You don't need to take me seriously, but you will take me. I love when household beasts are like, whoa, you were gonna piss all on your own? No backup or companionship or anything? Babe, I got you. I'm right here. You don't have to be alone during this difficult time, and you won't be, ever. This is not a discussion. Random old Finnish folklore I recall reading. The reason you have to close someone's eyes after they pass away, or cover their eyes with a cloth if you can't, is because the spirit of the newly passed is still in the body, and even though it can't move the eyes anymore, it can still see. You must avoid making eye contact with the passed away body, because the soul of the newly passed away is scared to go alone, and is looking for someone to come with them. If you lock eyes with the corpse, you will be the next to pass away. So is the second corpse still hazardous then, or are they fine since they have the first one for company? I must confess, I don't really know about the more exact details of the undead buddy system. Amazing photograph taken in the fraction of a second where the target doesn't even know he's being attacked yet. Idiot. I'll remember is the ADHD demon talking. You won't remember. Write it down. Bold of you to assume I'll remember where I wrote it, or even that I wrote it. Bold of you to assume I'll remember it long enough to write it down. I like how in Pokemon, normal type is either indicative of this is just a pretty standard rat or whatever. Or we literally have no idea how to classify this little freak. My kitty versus unidentified freaking thing. Held the door open for an elderly woman who was having a hard time walking to her stroller, which she left outside. She said to me, "What kind of bagels do pilots like?" As I thought about it, I said, "I don't know." "Plain," she said, not even looking at me and strolling away. I never saw it coming, you absolute treasure. What it feels like for ADHD people to listen to someone finish a sentence they already understood within the first few seconds. Is it also ADHD if you finish it for them while they're umming or uhing? Cause I do that. Oh. Instead of asking me to shut his bedroom door so the hallway nightlight didn't keep him up last night, my son asked me to shut his door to let the darkness in. Thanks for creeping me the hell out, son. My absolute favorite thing in movies is when someone's looking at childhood pics of a character and they use actual childhood pics of that actor, and you know the actor had to call their mom to get them, and she was so happy about it. In Target, little girl in checkout line, "I'm gonna see a cow today." Me, "Wow, that sounds so cool." Mom of girl, "Please ignore her. She's trying to say her grandma, but she heard me call her a cow today and she won't stop repeating it." What's the most boomer complaint you have? "I want a physical frickin' menu at a restaurant. None of this QR code bullshit." Headline, "Women who own horses live longer." Implied correlation, horses make you live longer. Reality, if you own a horse, you can probably afford health insurance. Just to confirm, everyone feels tired all the time no matter how much sleep they get or caffeine they consume, but also has trouble falling asleep / is constantly hungry, but also nauseous with acid reflux / spends every second working or cleaning, yet nothing gets accomplished. I once used Nair to remove my chest hair. During the process, I generously slathered the substance on my nipples. The why of this nipple slathering is not important, gentlemen and ladies, but the result should be a warning to all. My nipples burned like they were being finely sanded by a great ape. I won't deny my tears. I sought solace from my hell-fired nipples in restless sleep that night. When I awoke the next day, my nipples were gone, replaced with chitinous scabs. The shock of this was great, and I fear for a time my mind was lost to the outer blackness. After I recovered my sensibilities, I was seized with a heavy depression. I would spend my remaining days a maimed freak, free of the nipples God grants to us all. To my surprise and joy, only a few days later, the scabs fell away. What was underneath, you ask? 2 tiny nipples, pink and fresh, emerging from my brawny chest like 2 infant bird heads emerging from their shells. Within 7 days, those nascent nipples grew to full size and erectness. The erectness, unfortunately, was a permanent condition. To this day, 5 long years later, I refuse to wear t-shirts beyond the manor grounds for fear of cruel women pointing their witch fingers at me in mockery. I was Googling stuff for hair removal, and this was one of the comments I read. I'm joking. The club sucked so bad, so me and my Pikmin are going home due to aforementioned club being so sucks. OP, why did you bring your Pikmin to the club? He likes the espresso martinis there. Easily, the most annoying kind of vampire in the world are the ones where you finally corner them, and when you start going in with the steak, they start spouting off Sociology 101 bullshit to try and weasel out of it. Oh, no ethical consumption under capitalism. Oh, the rich are the real vampires if you think about it. Yeah, you ate like 50 homeless people, asshole. Hold still. Okay, but if you aren't a vegetarian, your case against vampires is actually pretty weak. I said hold still. Game Freak announcing a paid DLC before their $70 game is even out. Everyone disliked that. Could someone explain to me, on a business level, why would you do this? I genuinely cannot think of a single reason, both communicative or financially, why this would be a good business decision, because people will gobble it up anyways. I miss the days of Pokemon Black and White 2. A powerful being comes to you in your sleep and offers you 2 ways to alter your fate. This again? Okay, let's hear it. You can go back to the day you were born with all the knowledge you have now. You can entirely change how things play out with your actions, like invest in Bitcoin back in the 2010s. Or, you see what your future will be in 10 years and, if you don't like it, can rewrite it to be anything you want. You can choose to be an untouchable billionaire with a mansion. However, you cannot control what happens before and after that point. Which are you choosing? Found this poor gal eating a dead javelina on the side of the road in the desert. She has no collar and she's a little snippy. Barely got her in my car. She kept growling a little and acted like she was going to bite me, but I know it was only because she was scared. She finally calmed down. If this is your dog, please let me know. Thank you. Mom, your father was abducted by aliens last night. Me, about to adjust thermostat. Oh no. Meanwhile in UFO, alien, what do you mean we have to turn around? Dad, something's wrong. I can't explain it. The cashier when I pressed no tip after all they did was spin the iPad around. Can we end tipping culture and make the companies pay the livable wages? Kids imagining what life would be like at 40. I am 40. I have wrinkles and gray hair and I would have a walking stick to help me walk. I am 40. I am turning old. I just left work because I cannot manage going up and down hills. I know I will soon die. Average person has 3 microplastics in them, factoid. Actually, just a statistical error. Average person has 0 microplastics. Dangerous Crow Boy, who lives in a fey world and eats over 10,000 microplastics each day, is an outlier and should not have been counted. Calling my lover mine, but not in the way that my toothbrush or notebook are mine. Mine in the way my neighborhood is mine, and everybody else's. Mine like mine to tend to, mine to care for, mine to love. Mine not like possession, but devotion. Not belongs to me, belongs with me. Absolutely hate it when the pleasurable activity procrastination hits. I'm going to do something fun that brings me joy, but not yet. Yeah, not yet, not yet. Maybe I shouldn't do it at all. It's not that fun. Always felt that she inherently cannot fulfill the arbitrary standards of being good, so her only choice was to lean on bad as the cornerstone of her identity. Based his entire identity around being a good kid, so now he has a minor identity crisis every time he has a selfish, mean, normal teenager thought. Thinks they're a diabolical mastermind, but actually lacks the competence or active malice to be anything more than a self-loathing, sleep-deprived edgelord. Hot new Deltarune theory. The 3 main characters are just representatives of different subtypes of, remember when you were 15 and you were convinced you were evil and irredeemable, but it turns out you were just 15 syndrome? Find your real angel name. First 2 letters of your last name, first vowel of your first name, third letter of your middle name, or parent's first name if you don't have a middle name, last consonant of your last name, add IEL or EL to the end. I'm friggin' Flargel. Bitch, I'm thought real. I hate Crocs. This post is so friggin' funny to me. This is just a pic with a pile of Croc shoes crossed out red with the title, I hate Crocs. OP posted this in 2008 and never posted anything else. We don't know anything else about them. OP's URL is the word hatred and nothing else. Truly the post of all time. I don't know, man. I just wish that we could, suddenly realizing I'm coming dangerously close to expressing a real and earnest thought, instead of filtering everything through several layers of intangible running bits, blow up the entire world, or something. Did you know if you spend $150 on ingredients and 4 hours cooking, you can make a burger that's better than a Big Mac? Trust me when I say this, anything you make at home for yourself will be better than most things you can find from these cheap restaurants. Fry up a burger on the grill yourself. I promise it'll taste better. This was the exact moment I became a Patrick hater. Being a king doesn't entitle you to take whatever you want from others, whether it's others' daughters as concubines or someone's possessions. Huh? I wish my favorite cereal on earth wasn't $8 a box and also weirdly religious. Let me take a stab at this one. Frosted Flakes, or something to do with Kellogg's, or that shit you break apart yourself. Lucky Charms? What am I supposed to say? Like, oh yeah, pick up the one with scripture on it. It's kind of crazy climate change has occurred at such a remarkable pace that I and everyone else around my age can remember a completely different climate in our childhoods. I truly watched winter gradually disappear in my life. You're too young to remember this, but there used to be so many insects outside that you would have to clean them off the windshield after a long car ride. Is the kind of sentence that would have been in a cheesy sci-fi short story earlier in my life, perhaps submitted to a literary magazine and accepted to show support for its environmentalist message. Now it's something I've said in earnest. I eat oil paintings when security guards aren't looking. I went to the Met today. Just an FYI, cobalt is currently the most toxic oil paint usually. Older oil paints from old masters are also most likely made with lead, so the death via oil paint isn't impossible, to be honest. I can't die, but thank you. I'm sure this information will be useful for someone who can. How long does someone have to be passed away before it's considered archaeology instead of grave robbing? As an archaeologist, I find this a very awkward question. Answer the question, grave robber. This professor graded tests next to me the whole flight. If there's a Taiwan Jones at Howard, boy, you failed the hell out of your midterm. So I just found out I failed my midterms, but also went viral on the internet, and I don't know how to feel. Dear men, do you dry off your face after a shower with the same towel you use to dry your sensitive bits, or do you have a separate towel for that? You start with the face, then head on down. The towel forgets everything by tomorrow. Putting Reddit at the end of every question I have on Google, because I will never trust an AI. I need John from 13 years ago that has the same problem as me to solve it. What is a lost art? I really miss those days when people used to write long paragraphs for your birthday and waited until 12 o'clock trying to be the first one to send it to you. Massive rat found in Harlan County residence. Let him go. He has 4 turtles at home that need his care. Man, please tell me we don't have rats of that size. Went to the gym with my mom this morning, and around the time her class was over, I watched a car that looked like hers pull out, and I was like, wouldn't it be funny if that was her and she forgot I was with her? Well, it was her, and it wasn't funny. I think it's card only. As someone who used to work in customer service, I assure you, those 3 signs won't be enough. You'll You'll get stubborn folks coming up and complaining, why can I only use my card here? I was on a dating app, and a guy jokingly wrote, what should we name our first child? As his intro message, and I had to tell him that in 5th grade, I lost a bet to my best friend Hannah and have to, without question, name my firstborn child Megatron. And then the man unmatched me. That 2K you worked hard for is better than the 100K that's given to you for free. Don't ever give anyone advice again. I concur. Shut your mouth. My toddler dropped my phone while she was FaceTiming my mom, gasped, picked it back up, and asked, Grandma, are you okay? It was the cutest, dumbest thing I've ever seen. I asked him to bring me pads. Yeah, what's your kitty size? LMFAO. Huh? That's not how they work. Yes, they are. Sir. Small, medium, large. It's like t-shirts. It's for your flow, like how much you bleed? Lamau. I just saw them have sizes on TV, so I thought it was due to the circumference of coochie. Today, my cousin called me from Korea, and as I was talking to him, a white lady told me to speak English, so I turned to her and as harshly as I could, said, in perfect English, what the hell did you just say to me? And I swear I saw her soul leave her body. The solar eclipse will cost America almost $700 million in lost productivity. God forbid anyone look around and notice a natural world when they're supposed to be making the boss richer. I'm in the library, and there's a BF helping his GF study, and I've been overhearing parts of their conversation for the last hour. He just said, babe, I'm gonna be honest with you. You're going to fail this test. I love you, but there's nothing we can do about it now. I'm dead. If you have a friend who's a pharmacist and they are ignoring you, just say this. I was taking antibiotics for an infection, but I feel better now, so I'm not going to finish them. Trust me, they cannot help themselves. They will respond. Drake makes music for people who follow billionaire mindset accounts on here. You tweeted this at 5 in the morning. He certainly has a hold over you. I'm in the UK. 5 a.m. is 5 a.m. Don't embarrass yourself any further. He still lives rent-free in your mind. I guess other time zones just don't exist. I'm curious, what's the dumbest idea you have that you nevertheless believe will, if implemented, make the world a better place? If you don't use a turn signal, your car doesn't turn. Brilliant. Fun fact, blueberries are the only fruit named after a color. Green. Not a fruit. Good try, though. What is that response? Your brain thinks these polar bears are different colors. However, this is true because they are different colors. This is because of an effect in your brain called seeing. When your snake decides they aren't hungry one day and now you have a pet rat. I'll take it. Not with that username. How old are you without directly saying your age? In kindergarten, my class was taken outside to watch a space shuttle take off, then quickly brought back inside once it blew up. For me, my school didn't have computers until I was in 3rd or 4th grade. A billionaire can never be held accountable. Therefore, a billionaire must never make a management decision. I have a suggestion. Force-femming the billionaires won't help. Sorry, I thought you were someone else. I feel hungover and bloated. Can any pregnancy specialists diagnose me? Super pregnancy. Terminal. Pregnant. Starts jumping up and down on your belly. Jabs your belly with a stick 90 times. It's a... No, I shan't say. I can't reclaim that. Good luck. You're having kittens. Can I please have a new healthcare provider? If any of your gay and or autistic friends stop responding this week, do not panic. A Pokemon game is coming out tomorrow. It already came out. I know. Don't at me. Dad, why aren't we allowed to go outside? Your daughter asks one day, but she already knows. There is no outside anymore. Then why the hell did she ask? Sis lives for drama. Friggin' Virgo. Is the guy in the duck chair supposed to stay quiet, or is he allowed to clap and cheer? He's supposed to take notes and make an intrigued hum when an interesting plot point occurs. He's supposed to do sideline shonen anime character commentary. Huh? Impossible! That technique should be impossible to perform, unless... My divorced parents had this text exchange on Father's Day, and I'm horrified. Happy Father's Day! Biggest gift of my life are our kids. Couldn't have done it without you. Thanks, Nora. Agreed. I enjoyed the collaboration. Life's a funny thing. 13 years ago, a teacher made me cry on a school trip. Today, I rejected their mortgage application. Swings and roundabouts. Meet Sugar. She doesn't like to be ridden. If Sugar is approached with a saddle, she lies down and pretends to be asleep. Sugar refuses to open her eyes until the riders leave. Never have I ever related to an animal so much in my life. Back to school shopping at Staples and wondering where the time went. No, this isn't the point, but math is not green. English is green, math is red, science is yellow, and history is blue. Fight me. Fear of going to the dentist when I was 17. It's going to hurt. Fear of going to the dentist at 37. He's gonna say I need all new teeth and charge me $30,000. I've been lying to my cat for years. Every time he meows, I say, I know, but I don't know. I don't have a friggin' clue. Me, hey Windows, can you delete this file please? Windows, you got it. OMG, there's actually a program using it right now. Me, OMG who? Windows, OMG, I can't say. Please help. My biology teacher asked what's the opposite of dominant, and I confidently answered submissive to the whole class. Sorry, your brain's too rotted for us to help you. Babysitting? And the 4-year-old asked why I'm getting married. Told her because I'm in love and I'm gonna make cute babies like her. She straight up looked at my face and said, "Don't ever bring your gross babies into my nice house." My aunt got a divorce and I asked how she felt, and she said, "I thought I had an anxiety disorder, but it turns out it was just your uncle." I called my job from jail to tell them I can't make it. They freaking bailed me out and made me come to work. The more secure you want my computer password to be, the more guaranteed I am to just write that shit on a very not secure post-it note. 12 years ago, I talked to a stranger at a bar for over 3 hours. He said goodbye and nothing more when I left. In the parking lot, I got angry. I stormed back in and yelled at him for not asking for my phone number. We're married now. Drinking at 25, hell yeah, let's go out all night and go straight to work. Drinking at 35, dear diary, I had a beer last month. I've had a hangover for 2 fortnights. I fear this is the end. I hate being at the age where you feel obligated to buy your whole family gifts for Christmas, but also the age where your bank account doesn't feel obligated to support that. Or make something heartfelt that doesn't have a great monetary cost, you know. I'm begging y'all to remember that you're naming people, not just babies. A 17-year-old will have that name. A 28-year-old will have that name. A 43-year-old will have that name. A 77-year-old grandparent will have that name. Maybe we should rethink choosing McCainsley Grayson. Yes, I'm shaming. Wanting a less common name is cool, but naming your child KitchenAid Whiskey Jones is borderline abuse. Yes, I'm available this weekend, but I'm a socially anxious introvert in my 30s, so I can do Saturday or Sunday, not both. In the morning or afternoon, no evenings, and I just need a few details like who's coming, the parking sitch, the menu, how bright the lights are, is there loud music, and how long you want to stay. Can't wait. Yesterday, I overheard my 2-year-old son saying, "Are you sure this is a good idea?" And my 5-year-old son replying, "Trust me." And I have never moved from one room to another so quickly in my life. My company does this icebreaker thing where every week a different person sends an email to the whole company talking about their average day. And today's coworker started his with, "I wake up each day furious to be laboring under capitalism," and it has caused quite a stir. One time a girl said, "You dropped this pen." I was like, "That is clearly not my pen. It's red." "Yeah, you did." She shoved it into my hands. "Okay, weirdo." Then when I looked at it, there was a note inside with her phone number. My question is, how does anyone date men? We are so dumb. No, you guys. My dad was watching a video on his laptop in the living room, and I walked up behind him and said, "Who's that nerd?" And to my horror, the nerd on the screen laughed. It was a Zoom meeting. The nerd is one of our company's investors. I'm not looking for a job, but I send out applications periodically just so I can ask about the salary range and tell them it's too low, no matter what it is. Doing my part to get the rest of you paid. Thank you, Internet Hippo. Does it ever mess you up thinking about how old versions of you still exist to people out there? People you haven't talked to in years. Remember who you used to be and nothing about who you are now. And they're out there with memories of a version of you that kind of sucks. Sometimes I really think 2019 was the last normal year of our lives. And ever since, it feels like we've slipped into some alternate reality where nothing makes sense, everyone is on the edge, time moves too fast yet too slow, and the world we knew just doesn't exist anymore. It's funny how quickly you get desensitized to comic book nonsense. Like, Mr. Sinister is an insane name for a fictional character. It's so goofy, but when I read his name, I'm like, this is not a laughing matter. We're talking about Cyclops' traumatic secret laser beam eyeball orphanage surgery backstory. Stop laughing. Power scaling is one of those things that I feel it's really easy to turn your nose up at, but the full enjoyment of it entirely depends on what kind of community that you surround yourself with. Because obviously, talking with people who cannot understand the basic ideas of storytelling and narrative when trying to apply real-world logic to the physics of a story and can only read stories through the lens of power scaling will be tiring, especially since in practice it involves so many baseline assumptions that power scaling is basically headcanon with some math. Honestly, not even that hot of a take, but power scaling can be fun, since for the most part, it's just one of many avenues of excuse to discuss your favorite stories. You just have to do it with someone who isn't basing their entire life and self-esteem on whether their favorite guy can punch out your favorite guy, and isn't actually his strongest original OC Do Not Steal, who can punch big infinitely, multiverses, dimensionally. Unfortunately, these people just happen to be the loudest. Read library book, it's good. Thank you, library. Read library book, it's bad. Thank you, library, for saving me from buying it. Libraries are a modern day convenience that we don't appreciate enough. Girls with long hair will literally leave little traces of themselves wherever they go, like feathers falling from an angel's wings. Cleaning the shower drain again. Why do they call it oven when you of in the cold food, of out hot eat the food? Yo, why John kinda thick? We ain't gonna talk about the stroke I just had reading this. When you show people a movie you love, but they don't pay attention or react to any of the important scenes. This, but when you're streaming your favorite game on Discord and everyone joins the stream, but doesn't comment on it for hours and hours. Except it's fine when I do it. My little sister has been really struggling with a health condition lately and finally got to see a doctor. They charged her $40 for crying. They'd charge for the air we breathe if they could.